All right, good evening. If you are watching this on YouTube, this is a recording of a live chat. And I don't know exactly what I'm doing tonight, but I did get more music books and another atlas for my friends that keep looking for me. This one I'm super excited about. I don't know what I want to do with it yet, but it's all music from for Johnny Cash. So I think that this will make some really neat pieces. But I'm probably gonna do like jelly printed or abstract, like jelly print on napkins and then put it in here and do it like an abstract with some lyrics and some things of that nature. And then this one is, it's not as many songs, but it's for guitar. So it's got a lot of tab. So it'll probably just get torn up. And then this was an atlas for Washington. And the only thing that I noticed is I think it's the same as what you would see in the US atlas, but they've blown it up. So, like, you can find whole pages that are just all green, and the print's real big. And anytime there's a river, it's really big. So it's a little bit different color wise than a regular atlas. Um, it is good colors. It's soft colors for as far as all of the extra stuff. It's blues and greens. Like this stuff is all real good to. I think I'm gonna jelly print on this. But even like big pick pages that are almost all water and islands. In fact, for what I was gonna do, some of this might have worked. So we put those up. I think they go garage selling, and I've got them on the lookout for me. This is a brand new package of wet wipes, and I think they're gonna. But the plastic came open, so I think I'll put them in this tub to see if they don't work better in there. So when I was going through the music books, I knew I was going to do a lighthouse tonight, I think. So I thought we could put the lighthouse on this music paper that says stormy weather. But I pulled out this for later because I thought this would be cute with a bird watercolored on it. I also thought we could put, like, I could do a house on this later. And then I thought I'd do a girl with like an umbrella, rain boots on this one later. So I'm going to put those to the side. I pulled some napkins because I knew I wanted to do a lighthouse. I might try to do more than one lighthouse. Like maybe try to assembly line a little bit. So I thought about doing over this. This is a piece of Yupo. And I thought we could do a lighthouse on there. And so this would be in the background. And the stormy weather. I was thinking about this one, but I think I want to keep this for an abstract piece and do something on top of it. And I thought about for a nighttime one, but I don't think I want to. Now that I found this, and I was looking at this one, but I think I want to do like a cityscape or something on this one, and this be the background for the sky. But this was the other one I thought I might do a lighthouse on. And I thought we could do maybe like try to compile 3 lighthouses at one time. Yeah, Orla and Angel Bug. Yeah, I thought it would be good on this stormy weather. And so the other thing that I pulled is I thought we could use some napkins. So I was going into some things that I could use that could be part of the background for the sky. And there's this napkin from Laura. This napkin, I think, was from Shauna. This one. This one's torn, but it would be okay for a sky part. Might be too happy. Definitely too happy for stormy weather. But I also thought if we wanted to make it more nighttime, this would be good. Could be a sky. This could also be a sky because it's gray. Oh, I didn't realize this one had the print. This won't work. So I thought we'd use some napkin on the background on one or two of them. So the other thing I pulled out is Sandra used these are the ones from Deco Arts, the metallic luster. So I thought we could use maybe some of this buffed into the paper or something. Might be kind of cool. Maybe we want to do that one on stormy weather and maybe make a moon and do it through a stencil. So here's a black shimmer and a blue. But we might use some of those. And I don't have any problem with mold growing in any of them. I looked last night, but I did notice that there was some moisture, some condensation in the lids. But I think I'll use Sandra's trick and use like a palette knife to take some out. I think when I took it out before and used it, I used a sponge or a brush. So let's use the metallic luster with the stormy weather and a stencil and maybe a sponge to apply it. And that might be kind of a neat application to see how it does. And I don't want to put napkin. This has already got a sky. If we want to gray up some of the sky. I don't know how the napkin will stick to the Yupo. The dark blue one for this one. You think I should use this one? Well, the only thing is I want to try I'm not sure that these will dry on here. I think they need to go on the paper. This already has paint on it. I was thinking about putting the napkin on the Yupo, but I'm not sure how that's going to do either. How do you think, Eileen, the napkin would do on the Yupo paper? I was leaning towards one of these. I might use this for rocks. I might somehow make this be the rocks on the coast and then one of these be the sky. Yeah, the napkins. I was thinking about using the napkins on the Yupo and using the metallic luster on the paper. And then just leaving this one the way it is. And I'll probably make maybe I'll use some of this to be the rocks on this one. So I'm gonna peel this. It might already be peeled. I feel like there's another layer that's not off. It has kind of a strange texture. Let me get a couple pieces of tape. Nope, it is peeled. It just tore. So we'll use the other end. I think it's good. You're not sure it will stick. Well, let's try it. So let me set those to the side for a minute. And we have nothing to lose. One of these, I'm going to put rocks, and the other one I'm going to put like a field of flowers. I'm going to use this napkin. I kind of like this napkin on this one, so I think I'll do the rocks on this one. I think once it's dry on the Yupo, that it would be okay. And I could also wrap some of the napkin around the back. And I'm going to let the whole paper be covered, because we can have some water. So I'm just going to, I don't know, it seems to be adhering pretty good. I mean, I could wrap it. I mean, I could do something like that. And it's not going anywhere if I do that. And I think I'll trim it on the sides. And I don't think that ink's going to go show through at all, which I kind of like. Get rid of that. And I'm going to put a layer on top of the glue and let it set it to the side and let it dry. And then we'll get a stencil and we'll try the metallic luster on the paper. Well, I also may do some rocks first while we have the glue out, because that can be drying then. Because my idea is just to start assembly lining, like cut the lighthouses out of map paper, I think would be cool. And for those of you who came in late, I cannot see the chat on my computer, so I am looking on my phone. So I want to say hi to anybody who came in and I missed it. And just bear with me. All right. So I'm going to let that dry. So we could use this rock as rock over here. And we'll use this as just kind of a field of flowers. So I'm going to take a wet brush and just kind of tear. It's got like purple. I'm going to come in and kind of bring it up and down in some different areas and tear it. So it'll be uneven. Across. I'll put that up, use it on something else. And we'll put this down here and let that be the field of like flowers. And this is just jelly printed music paper that I have from a previous jelly printing session. Here comes Miss Tay Tay. Tay Tay, you can't get up on this side. You want Mommy to move stuff? Hmm. You're gonna get up? Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I see you. Okay. We'll let that dry. And then we'll see about getting some rock shapes out of here. Okay, I'm going to do that. And I think what I'll do is like a row and then put another row in front. Take that off. So let's see, scissors. There they are. Good, she's behaving tonight. She's on her table, laying down. Okay. So what I'm thinking is if I put that right there. And then I want to take that off the side. And then I'm going to find another set. That I can do. And kind of pile them up. And then I can kind of enhance it with some paint. Let's see, and then we'll get a large. This is a really delicate napkin, I will say. For those of you that got this napkin, it feels like organza. All right, that'll be the rock. We'll pull those other pieces off in a little bit. It really feels like fabric on this one. Okay, let's trim the napkin on this one. Let that dry. Get rid of this little bit hanging off. All right, we'll let that dry over here. I am doing 3 lighthouses on different backgrounds is what we're going to do. We're going to use jelly prints and some metallic luster. So let's find something we want to use. Okay, first of all, I'm going to cheat. Well, no, it's not cheating, but I want to see how dark this is. And I'm going to use this blue, which is a brighter, much brighter blue. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the sponge and I'm going to put the brighter blue everywhere from here up. I'm going to get a piece of tape. That crazy chat stuff, it still says no connection, waiting to connect. And my internet connection is fine. All right, so I'm going to let that be my horizon. And I'm going to take the blue on a sponge and I'm just going to rub it everywhere. And smooth it out. I may want to get a newer sponge. I just want to buff it kind of. Actually, you know what? I want to try a baby wipe. Because I still want the music to show through. Because I do know from when I used this before on a canvas, it did not want to dry. So I think this way, I'm getting the shimmer and the color, but I'm still getting, it's still translucent. Kind of go in a circular motion. Okay. So that's good for the blue. Then what I think I want to do, I don't know how this will end up working, is I think I want to use a stencil with the black and let some of the blue show through. So just a matter of, I'm kind of leaning towards that one. I don't want circles. That's One of those two, I think. I mean, I do have the tree too, but I don't think I want to use the tree. I'm thinking that I might use this one or this one. Now, this one will leave less blue and more gray. The other one, no, it doesn't smell at all. This one would be more like equal. So, I mean, I don't want to cover up the title. That's why I was kind of turning it this way. I haven't gone over anything with marker. These are stencils. They're just dirty. So it's a matter of whether we like this stencil in the black shimmer, which will come out like kind of gray, or we like, which will make more gray and less blue, or we like the finer stencil. I think that'll block more of the music. I think I ask you, and then I think I'm going to just make a decision. I'm going to make an executive decision. And I am going to tape it at the top with a piece of painter's tape to help hold it down. The stencil and the paper. And I'm going to pull this painter's tape up ever so gently. And use it again, but I'm going to tape the stencil down. Okay. Because I think if I tape the stencil down, it will do better. It'll be easier to manipulate. And I'm going to get a clean baby wipe. Hi to everyone who came in that I missed. I saw Laura. I think I saw Kimberly. Don't take your Band-Aids off. Well, I didn't want to tear that paper. This paper's old. Okay. So I'm just going to get some on the baby wipe and put it in some of the larger areas. And then work gently off and pull in. And hope that the paper doesn't tear up from the too wet of a baby wipe. This is really creamy. And it's not that it goes on hard. Or it's hard to put on. I just don't want to push it under the stencil. And I don't want to lose bits of the music paper. Either. And you could just use your fingers. And it might even have worked better with a dry cloth. And I don't want to cover up the title. So I'm going to avoid this little bit of the print. I'm going to keep that on the lighter side. This is Deco Arts Metallic Luster. And this is the one that's called Black Shimmer and Cosmic Blue are the ones that I'm using right now. It's very similar to what Xandra was using last night from the Viva Decor. It's what made me remember I had it. If I use it too heavy, I will just push it right under the stencil. Okay. Okay, I think I want to hit just above the title to get some more gray up there. I'm not sure that it'll show. I don't know how it'll get, like if it'll get matted or what we'll end up doing with it. Usually what I end up doing is putting it on a bigger piece of paper. All right, I like that for the sky. I'll take this tape off the stencil without destroying the stencil. And I know we're done with the black. That was good. Those pajamas needed some metallic luster there. All right, so we've got the sky in. The question is, what do we want to do on the bottom of this lighthouse? We might want to do another field of green. I'm thinking about doing some of the green metallic luster. And maybe some of the turquoise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do I'm just going to do bits here and there of the turquoise. Like it's marsh. And it's a wetland. Then I'm going to come in with the green and put some green. And I'll protect this area here. I'm just going to use this blue in just a clean area. It does buff into the paper pretty good. Where, like I said, when I used it on the canvas, I used it through a stencil and it wasn't buffed. When I went to work with it later, it still wasn't dry. And when I went to put the varnish on it, it wanted to bleed. So it might really need to be buffed in. And it's pretty on the, it's like not wanting to come up. It's sticking to the glue. That was glue off my craft mat. It's time for a new one. Not black. And that was, the lid's on the wrong one. Brilliant turquoise and lavish green. I think I have all the colors that they have. So this is brilliant turquoise, black shimmer, cosmic blue, and lavish green that I used. And then there's a copper kettle, a burnished brass, and an ice espresso. I might use some of these on our rocks or paint. I don't know. We'll decide. It will get coated in Mod Podge because we're gonna add a lighthouse to it and coat it and do the details in the pit pins. But right now, like when I'm touching it, nothing's coming off. My hands are dirty, but that's from before. This is still wet on the Yupo. But I haven't taken a heat gun to it. It's just laying to the side. And this is ready. It's for the most part dry. It did wrinkle a little bit in here. I don't know if it's going to lay flat enough. So now we need to get lighthouses. So I took out a book just so we have some references, and I'm going to keep them relatively simple. You know, just a basic shape. I don't even think I want to necessarily worry about if they have a house to the side. I think I'm just going to literally do a lighthouse. So, no, when I put it on a canvas, I have a black canvas that I did modeling paste or something. I don't remember what it was. And I put it on top and I let it sit for several days. And when I went to varnish it, it moved again. But I didn't buff it, if that makes sense. So we need map paper. I'm going to make all the lighthouses out of map paper. And I'm leaning towards something in this grayish color. I'm not worried about the lines. I don't want the green. Let me get the other atlas. A traditional atlas. Because the text is not so big. Okay, one of them I think I'm going to do with this. But we'll turn it sideways and it'll be striped. One, I'm going to use this paper right here. This white and the blue. I'm going to avoid that red. And then I have really old atlas paper. This is my slush pile. That's my jelly print paper. I need to... I know it's in there because I saw it. It'll take just a minute. Found something as an alternative if I can't find it, but I know I saw it in here earlier tonight. There it is. Somebody gave it to me. It's really aged and yellowed. I think I'll use this bit that's yellow right here. And we're going to use this. We're just going to cut all 3 of these lighthouses the basic shape at the same time. Essentially. Because the papers are all the same. It's just driving me nuts that I can't see y'all. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold them in half so that it's kind of symmetrical. And here's my base. And then I'm going to come out. I didn't get a dome on one of these. I might still need to cut them down. Those 2 are good. We could just maybe that one doesn't have a dome. Maybe it has a shorter square piece. That's the top. And I may still need to cut them. They may be too big. Okay, that one's too busy. I like this one's going to be I like this one on there. And they're going to get paint on them. I like this side that's more busy. I like this side on this one. I think I'm going to cut them down just a little bit. So they're not as wide. I may have to take off the bottom some too. Okay, let's take off some of that. And I'm just, like I said, just getting that basic shape. Yeah, I think I'll curve that a little bit. Okay, so I think that's good. And then let's see if we can't fix this one just a little bit. School is out in 3 weeks. Tutoring's over. It's about cleaning my room and starting to bring stuff home. That's good too. Okay. All right, I think all of those are good. Let me get rid of this trash. this one on here. I like the other side. Oh, that's good because it's got some yellow right there. This one might be better on here because there's less definition of color. And it's going to be striped. It's going to be red stripes or black stripes. I haven't decided. And we'll put this one on here. And let's get some more of that map. I may give this one a house, like a little bit of a house, just to make it different. So we'll give this one like a lean-to. I don't know. Let's try it. We'll do it on this one. Instead. All right. Let's Tay. We're out the last of May. All right, so this one will just stick down. Some glue. And now this time I want to get the glue all over the jelly print too, so that I can use the markers if I decide to do anything. And I might take some of that napkin that we had left over. Thinking about gluing another piece like in front of another layer. Sort of up over in front of the lighthouse. upside down. Get rid of that. I don't like this purple over here too much, so we'll get rid of that. Because I think what I'm going to do on this lighthouse is put like a field of flowers in front of it. Okay, let's let that dry. Let's put they're confusing you, Jean, and like we were confused the first time that you guys used cashew and macadamia, and we were like, who are they talking to? I'm actually going to bring that down just a little bit. I don't seem to be picking up any of this on my brush so far. Let's see if that transfers any color to the back of this lighthouse. So far it hasn't. All right, let's... I should have put that lower. That was close. Let's see if we can move this one lower without... I want it lower because I don't want it right up on that title. Okay. And I'm going to switch to the bigger brush. And this will cover this under the gel medium, but it is not moving. It is not smearing like it did on the canvas that day. But I did buff it in to the paper. where it sat on the canvas that time and I didn't buff. So it might need to be buffed. The directions are in the box, of course. And the boxes are long gone. Okay, so let me set that to the side to dry. And this is still wet in places, but let's glue this on while it's wet. And I would say it's stuck to this Yupo now that it's drying just fine. And we might want to put some napkin over that too. And for those of you that are coming in a little later, this is one of the napkins from the napkin swap. And it's got like mauve and gray roses. And we're using them like rocks. And I'm applying a liberal amount of glue, just so I don't have to move it around, because this is like, feels like organza. It's silky feeling, and it tears really easy. It's different. It has a fabric-like feeling. Okay. Let's put that to this. Well, actually, let's get the heat gun out and dry. So let's dry this one first. Oh, it's awful. I can't even see my own chat, CB. And I switched it back to the other. My laptop's just spinning. And I don't ever have those problems. I'll try switching it back to the new chat. I don't know. What I'm going to have to do is just keep playing with it when I'm not doing a stream, where I can just go in and out and all right, so let's set that one to the side. Make sure it's dry in the back. Still a little sticky in places. All right, so Make sure this one's dry. Mainly where I put that napkin. This is. The napkin is not. This one has really good texture, so we'll do something with that. All right, I'm going to let those two sit to the side. And let's work on this one. Okay, so what I'm going to use is Faber-Castell Pitt pens, which on regular paper look and work like a regular marker. If you were to do this on paper, you can't move it. It doesn't do anything. But on the top of the gel medium, you can blend it, but it's permanent when it's dry. So I'm going to start by adding in a little bit more of a horizon and kind of, I may even take some brown. So it looks like rocks and dirt along that. You get kind of like a sandbar type. And I'm just going to do the back side where I'm not going to do the front of the water. Okay, and then we'll take the green. I'm going to do the lighthouse. Let me move the camera in. No, I do not color my hair. It is gray, gray, gray. It has been gray since I was in the 7th grade. Guess I want to put that in the back. Kind of look like you're probably looking like off of a cliff. And the water probably, we might even come back here and make some water off into the distance back here. And we'll come in probably with some acrylic paint and put some flowers in here in areas. And we'll come in with some gray and do some shadowy kind of. I may even give it like a little bit of a path. And I'll just work from my way from the back towards the front. It took a long time. It started in the front over, I don't know which, and it was a streak when I was younger. And then as I got older, it just got grayer around my face. So it took a long time for it to actually... I did color it, but it grows really fast. At one time I did color it. If I don't teach school, I might do what I want it to do, kind of like a lavender, something fun, but I couldn't do that. Okay. May not get all the lighthouses done today. So I'll just keep working my way forward. I can't tell if chat's moving or not moving. Okay, kind of. All right, we'll let that dry. Hi, Shauna. All right. What we're going to do is I'm going to flip this upside down. And I'm going to get black. And work on this. It's going to be a rail. All right, and then I'm going to make this like it's big pieces of glass. And I'm going to go solid black on the top of the dome. Okay, we'll let that dry, and then we're just going to put the top like up. Well, I know it's shimmery. Hi, Carrie Ann. Okay. Let's see. I think since this has got mostly grays, I'm going to keep this white. So the first thing I'm going to do is come in with a white pip pen. First thing I need to do is wipe my hands on a clean baby wipe. I don't think I'm going to use the white pip pen because I don't think it's going to make that big a difference. I think I'm going to use some purple and some lavenders to add a shadow, and I think I'm going to use a dark gray for the roof. And then we'll come in with some black, but I want that dark gray to dry. And we'll come in with some black here in a few minutes. And I want to bring in some shadow on the side. And usually what I do is put some and pull it out so it's not and I can start bringing some of those lines around to almost look like a pencil line. And on this side I'm going to put very little of the gray. But what I'll put is some lavender. It's a real pale lilac. Put it underneath this awning, kind of along this edge. And then I'm going to use the purple over here too. I'm going to pull out. some more of the gray. Darken that up again. This will be my dark side. Okay. So if you can see, if I turn it, I know it's real shimmery. And then we'll take our black. And let's put in some windows. A lot of times there's about 3 of them. I don't like that one. And if you get it out right away, you can take it out. If it's dried, then it's not going to work. You know what? I think I'm going to give this a ridge right in here that bumps out. And leave that one there. And put some little ones in here. And I'm going to come down with the black on my dark side. Really darken that. Okay, now I'm going to come to my roof and bring down some shadows. And give it a more painterly look. Too dark there with the black. Go back with the gray and the darker purple. And then I'm going to take the gray up that purple just a little bit. Okay. Clean my hands. I'm going to stick some sky behind this with some blue. I'm going to start with like a turquoise. Yeah, that's not a bad match. And then I'm going to do some really light back here. And then what I'm going to do is get some like gold and yellow color to kind of give the glow of a like there's a light bulb on inside. I don't think I like that yellow there. I think I'm going to put some gray back in there so that it's just like gray, like your... Alright, so now we're going to come back down to the bottom. Now that we've got add some grasses in front of that. In front of the house. Or the shed, whatever that is. It probably needs a tree. Oh, off. Yeah, because I'm turned, I'm scooted in so you can see. So now what I want to do is I want to put some paint on here. So I'm just going to get some bright opaque, some red. Some yellow, opaque white, okay, I'm going to start with some white. I hate that I can't see my chat on my own stream. That I have to watch it on my own phone. That's just irritating. Start using another word. Okay. This is... It's one of these two brushes I think I want to use. Okay, I'm just going to take white paint and start putting little clusters of flowers here and there. Stop, Tay-Tay. And I'm just kind of letting the dots sit. And again, I'm going to work my way towards the front. I'm going to make them bigger when I get up here. Just put a little more pressure on the brush. Kind of just thinking it's like a whole field of flowers in the wetland. And I'm going to come in with some yellow, I think, in here and there. And some red. And then this will be done. So now I'm going to take some, this yellow is a lot thinner, so I'm going to add a little white. I'm just going to add it to the white, so I can thicken it, but still have a yellow color. In fact, I'm going to add a little red. To my yellow, just not so much. Let's do the red. I have too much paint on my brush. And I'm going to do a lot more yellow, I think, than red. Let's add more. That came too peachy. So what I'm going to do is, this is two different yellows. This yellow's too light. This yellow's too thin. So we'll try that in a minute. Let's finish the red. Okay. That's a better yellow. It is killing Miss Tay Tay that we are ignoring her. No, you don't, miss. I think that looks like a pretty good field of flowers. Okay. Put that in the water. Wipe up that paint. And that was just Traditions in a red and a white and a yellow and a little bit of the media fluid acrylics. Okay, so that one needs to, that little bit of paint needs to dry. So let me put that back up someplace where it will not get laid on by a cat. And let's work on this one. And I think I'm going to make it more of a reddish brown color, like the whole lighthouse. So I'm going to start with singing. I don't know what. And add that as my base. You'll still see the map through it. But it'll give us a, my finger is dirty, so I'm getting a little bit of a gray or black in there, which I don't really care. And we'll do the same thing with the dome. I'm not going to worry about the fact that they're similar, because it's most likely not the same person buying them. Okay, and I'm going to, there's some greenery here, but I'll get that back. Okay. And I know, like I said, there's a sheen on it really bad tonight. Let me move this light. I think maybe that might be the problem. That's a little better. All right, and this is a darker, kind of a rust. And I'm gonna blend in a darker. That's gonna be my darker side, I can tell. And I think I'll even use some brown. To get that roundness. I'm just gonna do a line down this side. Just to give it a little bit of a hard edge. And then we'll let some gray come in here. Darken that side. Tay is not happy, y'all. God, for a minute I thought I lost everybody. Okay. This time I'm going to use cobalt blue. And I'm going to put in the blue to try to blend this in the background a little bit. Kind of work on some lines that are like reflection of glass. And then I'll add the black. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do a rail. like a wrought iron around the top. And I think I'm just going to add this. And give it a real hard edge with that brown. Okay, and I want to get a little harder edge to this. And then we'll come in and we'll give some panes to these windows. Try to add a curve in here a little bit. And I think that works for the top. I'm not going to add light to this one. I'm going to add like there's a hard crown here. And then I think I'm going to take the green and darken some of the napkin so it looks kind of like bushes on a cliff. There's this natural leaf shape. I'm just darkening. Might even go in and make it look like a tree, and then put some more shrubbery in front of it. And then darken some of the down around the bottom. Doubt this shows in the picture. It'll most likely be out of the frame. And then I think I want to just do like a shadow. Area and just kind of keep it like ground. Okay, so there's that one. I'm happy with that one. So let me put that to the side. Clean my hands again. Yeah, they would go. The last time I did 3 lighthouses, 2 of them sold together. One sold by itself, and 2 of them sold together. But I did 3 of them at a time. Okay. Let me get rid of the baby wipes. All right. This one is still sticky in places. Let's start with the lighthouse. What I'm going to do is give it stripes. And I'm going to go with these natural stripes here. We'll make this the dome. We'll make the dome the white part this time. We'll just give it okay. I'm going to come down this side and kind of pull that gray. And we'll come in and darken those stripes in a minute. I just want to get some in the white area too. Take some out. What we'll do is we'll put some of that lavender in the white areas. And then we're going to take the black and we're going to work that black in on the oh. I'm going to turn it around. Okay. And let's put some yellow in there to add some light. We'll add some windows. Again. And on this one, since the sky's so dark, I think I'll make the top a silver. It still may not show up. And then I think I'll put the black. I can see it, but I'm sure you can't. I need to darken the sides of the white. Okay. So that lighthouse came together pretty fast. Now it's a matter of what we want to do. I don't think I want to do anything to the sky. We need to work on the rocks, and I think I want to add some water in down here. So I'm thinking for the water, I might take some of this turquoise. And I think I'm going to try a brush this time. JJ, you knocked all my tape off. I'm sure it's covered in cat hair now. Okay, so I think I want to put the water right in here. She's not happy, y'all. Let me turn it upside down real quick. These are my rocks right here, so I don't want to cover my rocks up. I want to make them pop in just a minute. I'm thinking I'll use some of the other metallic stuff. Stop it. Okay. So that gives us some water. I think we're done with the markers. So let me put those up and out of our way. I say our like you're in here with me. Yeah, she's in the room and she's like, hello. Okay, I think I'm going to have to back the camera out because I can't get the rocks to show in the camera. Okay, so let's see. We've got iced espresso. I think we might still use some of the black shimmer because that'll give us a gray. and burnished brass. It's kind of rock color. And we might use the copper as kind of a highlight. And I have to say, I kind of liked the stiff brush. All right, so I'm going to pick a rock and start laying in some color. And I'm just going to switch back and forth. Between them. I'm not sure I don't like this. I don't like the brass. I'm going to pull back some of that. And I'm letting the texture of the napkin work with it. And then this, I'm going to put a highlight across. Does it kind of look like rocks? You know what this would also be really good at, Sandra? Is this puckered up napkin close up looks like coral. It looks like it could be a coral reef too. The copper's working pretty good as a highlight. And I'm thinking I might take this white and create a path with just the white pit marker. There are still places where that is wet. Getting a little bit of a blend of some colors. It's funny, the gray is really soft compared to the other colors. I don't know if it's because I stuck my hand in it earlier and put moisture, like the moisture. These are rocks too. They're just not. That looks like rocks, doesn't it? Okay. I don't know how that washes out of a brush. We'll see. It's so weird because I look on my phone and I can see where I was. Okay, so paint up. You know me, I gotta. Now, I don't think these will end up in a matte. They'll probably have to get them, or I'll have to get a matte. Let me grab one. Now, that one's not bad in a matte. This one actually looks better in a matte, doesn't it? Bye, Ella. I'm almost done. All right, so let's go ahead and matte this one. Well, before I matte it, I'm going to put varnish on it. I take that back. I'll matte it later, and then let's see the other. And I guess what I'll take is the white paint pen, and I'll sign this one. Up against the side. Let's see if the others can will work in a mat or not. Those flowers, I'm not trusting those yet. Well, that's not bad in a mat. And again, I think I'll go ahead and mat it, and I'll sign the lighthouse up the side again. So it'll still show the title to the song. Okay, and then this one, Stormy Weather. Matte or no matte? It might be better with a bigger mat and get more of this foreground on this one, I think. So on the third one, Stormy Weather, I don't know if we like the matte or not. Let me leave it there. We kind of have to go like that. I think a bigger mat, CB. I think you're right. I think it needs a bigger mat or no mat at all. Because it's like a 9x12, I believe. All right, and let's sign this one. I think I'll sign it down here, but in white amongst the flowers. Oh, that's not going to work. I may need to use a pit pen. That works. The paint pen was sliding on this a little bit. So all I need to do is varnish them. Yeah, this one needs a bigger mat, I think. Like maybe one that's, like, I don't know what size this is. This is an 11x14. It may have to be a custom, so it may not be sold matted. The customer may have to frame it how they want to frame it. Because it could take a bigger mat, a much bigger mat, and a bigger frame. So that's kind of what I plan on doing with some of the animals. Is kind of so I can mass produce. Is sort of assembly line. So let me stop